Welcome to the Stop Overdrinking and Start Living podcast, where high-achieving working moms come to learn how to stop overdrinking, reduce overwhelm and anxiety, and show up like the players they were meant to be. I'm your host, Angela Mascenik, and let's dig in. Welcome to episode 64, How to Feel Better in a Pandemic. Well, hello there, my lovelies. How are you guys? I am good. So much has happened since last week's episode, right? I remember talking to you guys about, my thoughts about the current situation with COVID-19 and my travel plans, all of that canceled. It all changed so quickly in a matter of 4 hours that week. It was fascinating. I ended up not traveling. Our school systems got closed. My daughter came down with the flu. We had to go to urgent care. As you can imagine, her symptoms were very similar to the COVID-19 symptoms. And I was so glad that I have the skill of knowing how to manage my mind and to feel my feelings during that. And we got through that. My daughter is feeling better. She got the medicine she needs. And we are all just hunkering down and keeping ourselves safe and healthy right now. So I want to talk to you guys today about how to feel better in a pandemic. Okay, so I'm going to give you some solutions today, but I want you guys to sort of like bring it up to a very high level here for a second. There is a situation going on in our world where there is a virus that is spreading to people. Okay, that is the fact, right? We know that there's a virus and it spreads to people and people are getting sick. All right. Though that's a circumstance that we have that we're currently experiencing in the world. Right. And then we have thoughts about that situation in the world, that circumstance. Right. And our thoughts are what create our feelings that we are experiencing right now. If that's overwhelm or fear or confusion or anxiety. Right. Our thoughts about the current situation are creating our experience in our bodies, our feelings, that vibration that we feel. And then our actions that we take in response are fueled by how we are feeling right now. So if you're spending a lot of time on social media and looking at articles and not doing what you should be doing, right? Or if you're drinking or overeating or spending a lot more time, maybe you're shopping a lot online right now, right? So all of your actions that you're currently doing are fueled by how you're feeling, and your feeling is based on how you are thinking about the current situation. So COVID-19 can't cause you to feel scared. COVID-19 can't cause you to drink more. COVID-19 doesn't cause you to eat more cookies. Okay, there's a thought and a feeling that needs to happen before that action is taken. Okay, so today I'm going to give you some solutions to how to handle some of the feelings that you have and things that you can do to manage your mind. Okay, so first I want to talk about why it's so important to not numb during this time. You guys listen to this podcast because you struggle with overdrinking. Okay, so we're all here because we have been people that have overdrank. And if you have been over drinking, and if you've been following along to my podcast or, on my email list, I talk to you about why we overdrink. So just review that. We're over drinkers because we are in response to our feelings. If we want to feel relaxed, we drink. Because in the moment that we choose to drink, we currently don't feel relaxed. That's just one example of one feeling that we're trying to feel that we currently don't feel in the moment. If we drink to feel more happy or to feel celebratory, it's because we think that drinking is going to help us amplify that feeling. Okay. So if you're over drinking, it's because you've been drinking in response to your emotions. And when you do that, you teach your brain to seek alcohol to feel better all the time. So right now, given the current situation that we're in with COVID-19, your brain is like on high alert to go search for the alcohol or food because we've trained it to do that when things seemingly go wrong, right? If we're having a high level of anxiety or if we're feeling overwhelmed, because we've trained our brain to seek alcohol in the past, it's going to be seeking that even more now. So it's so important for you guys not to numb out, not to use this as an excuse to just continue drinking or think, oh, I'll just get through this, and then once this is over, then I'll focus on it. No. Don't do that. Use this as an opportunity to feel your feelings and not be reactive to them and go find that immediate pleasure with the alcohol, okay? That will not help you here. It will not help you at all. You will come out of this on the other side 3 months from now with an even stronger desire for alcohol, and that work is going to be even more harder then, okay? So I highly recommend that you commit to yourself right now to not drink when you're feeling bad, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling confused, when you're feeling uncertainty, because it's just going to make your issue worse. Okay. What you want to do is look for different ways to make yourself feel better. And I'm going to get into that later in the podcast. So it's so important right now to wake up and to be present and to think about how this situation that we're having in the world right now could actually be helpful for us. Okay, so I'm recommending my clients, like, how can we look at this pandemic as a way that we can heal ourselves, our society, our communities, and not look to things outside of ourselves all the time for entertainment and for pleasure, right? So many of us are just used to go to the wine bar or go out to eat when we feel like it, or we're bored, or we don't feel like cooking, or to go to the mall and spend shit tons of money that we don't have on clothes and makeup and shopping, right? Or to book a trip that we just need to escape our lives from, right? Right now, you want to learn how to be with you, be with yourself. Be with, content with what we have, with not seeking all these things externally for the pleasure in our lives. It's so important. Okay. And we have an amazing opportunity to be forced to do that right now. And there's never been a time to figure that, never been a better time for you guys to figure that out. Okay. We have the time. Most of us are, working from home and our schedules have changed, right? We're not running kids to and from all over the place. You have the time right now to really focus on this. So don't numb out. Use this as an opportunity to learn about yourself, learn about your feelings, learn about the thoughts in your mind. Okay? It's also so important to manage your mind right now. Your mind can go crazy during these types of things. Your brain is programmed to scan for danger. Okay. And because there's so much uncertainty and so much unknown right now, your brain is like lit up with that programming. Okay. So don't let your brain run wild. Program your brain with thoughts that are helpful to you, thoughts that will help you stay present and focused in these moments. Okay. So some recommendations that I've been teaching to my clients and talking to other people is like, create a goal for yourself for the next 30 days. Okay, maybe it's a 30-day challenge. So what can you do right now in the next 30 days that would actually help you in your life? You might want to take a break from drinking. Maybe now's a really good time to try a 30-day break. That might be really healthy for you, right? You're going to learn how to feel your feelings, manage your mind, and not drink in response to something that's happening in the world. Okay, maybe you decide every day for 30 minutes a day, I'm going to get outside and walk in the fresh air early in the morning or late in the evening when there's not a lot of people around, right? Or maybe you have something at home that you can do for 30 minutes a day. Maybe you write a letter every day to your mom that lives out of state or to a cousin or something. You send it in the mail. Maybe you have been thinking about writing a book and every day for 30 days, you're going to write 5 pages in your book. Think about that. You'd have 150 pages in that book by the end of 30 days, right? That would be amazing. Maybe you want to declutter a space in your house every day for the next 30 days, right? Maybe your whole kitchen. Maybe there's 30 areas in your kitchen, and maybe it's a drawer one day and a cabinet the next, right? You could totally declutter your whole home in a matter of 30 days, right? So I highly recommend that you guys do something like that you're kind of like you have a plan and you're working towards a goal by the end of 30 days. And then when that 30 days is over, make another 30-day challenge. Our brains like to have something to look forward to do. Otherwise, we're just like, what do I do? I've got all this now more free time. And then we get into the thought loops and getting on social media and reading worst case scenarios and spinning out that way. That does not help. Okay. So create a goal and then get moving on accomplishing it. Uncertainty for humans is absolutely intolerable. We like to know what's going to happen. Okay. So we like to know like that the kids are going to school, that we have a job to report to, that we can go get our groceries when we need to, right? And that everything's going to be okay. Right now, we don't know what's going to happen in 30 days. We don't know what's going to happen in 60 days, right? And so that's intolerable for us. It feels so uncertain. And if we let our brain freak out in worst case scenario, it just fuels that, right? So I want to talk now about how we might be infecting our own brains and like having coronavirus brain instead of it actually affecting our body. So you might not get the coronavirus from someone else, but you could get infected in your own brain if you don't manage your mind right now. You have to program your brain what you want it to think instead of what the default programming thinks. Okay, so the default programming is, oh my God, what if this could happen? And oh my God, I may not have enough money, or I may not be able to get to work. Or, oh my God, my kids may not go back to school this year, right? So that is our default programming. That's how we were programmed to survive as a species, to worst case scenario everything and avoid imminent death. But we've evolved. Our brains have evolved since that time to have our higher part of our brain, our prefrontal cortex. And now that we have that, we can decide what to think on purpose and override that primitive programming. Okay, so you want to program your brain with intentional thoughts that will help you through this time. Okay, that will help you still reach your goals, even though things are so uncertain right now. There's never been a better time to start implementing the tools that I teach. Okay, start journaling. Really, you guys, you have the time. Start journaling. Dump out your thoughts. Uncover your thoughts, what you currently have. What are your current thoughts in all of the areas of your life? Okay? So start by making a list of all of the big areas in your life. Work, family, your personal health, your money, and future events. Okay? Those are just some big areas in your life, right? So write down work, family, personal health, money, future. Okay? And then under each of those topics or circumstances, write out all of your thoughts right now about this pandemic under that area, okay? And how this pandemic might affect those areas. And just let your brain say anything at once without judgment. Just write and write and write, okay? And then once you do that, and don't worry about grammar or spelling or anything or judging yourself, just write out all your thoughts, okay? And then when you do that, you can look at your journal or your piece of paper and you can say, okay, what are some recurring thoughts that I'm having in each of these areas of my life? And identify those, maybe circle them. And then you ask yourself, when I think these thoughts, how do I feel? And just give yourself a second and then write down the feelings that you have, okay? Do that. Pause the episode. Go do that exercise, okay? And then come back to it. And then remember that we have circumstances in the world, such as coronavirus, and then we have sentences. The sentences in our brain create our feelings, not the pandemic. It's so important for you guys to understand this, and believe me when I tell you that thoughts create feelings. This is 100% true about the human experience. We can't control what's going on in the world, but we can control how we think about it, and our thoughts create our results in our lives. So I was coaching somebody a couple days ago, and she was worried about this friend that she knew who possibly had the coronavirus, and this friend had posted on social media that she had taken her daughter to a piano lesson or some sort of lesson, okay? And my client had this thought, she's out there possibly infecting other people, okay? And when she thought that, she felt anger, right? And from her anger, she ruminated, she bitched about it to her husband, she probably got on social media too much, all of that, right? And she was not eating enough. She wasn't sleeping enough. She wasn't exercising, okay? And so her result from those actions of not taking care of herself, not eating good foods, not exercising, right? Overthinking things, she was creating a result in her life of her being unhealthy. Do you guys see that? Her thought about her friend that had taken her daughter to an appointment with possibly having the coronavirus was, she's out there possibly infecting other people. My client's result, if she keeps thinking that, is that she's infecting herself, right? She's infecting and creating an unhealthy life for herself. Okay, if you guys don't clean up your thinking, right, that is going to be your result too. Her thought was creating a result of her not being healthy. Okay, now is not the time to use this as an excuse to eat all the kids' snacks and drink a bottle of wine at night. We are designed for survival as a species. Okay, we didn't have Netflix and wine and cookies before, right? We are designed to be able to weather this storm. We have feelings and we're supposed to be feeling them right now, not escaping them. And we also have our prefrontal cortex, which is our higher part of our brain that can analyze our thoughts, analyze that primitive programming that we have that is always thinking negatively, right? So my client's thought she's out there possibly infecting other people is not serving her because it's causing her to create an unhealthy life for herself, okay? So how can she think about that differently? I'm in charge of me, right? I can't control other people. I can make sure that I'm healthy, right? Those are so much better thoughts than she's out there possibly infecting other people. We can't control what other people do. We really can't, but we can control how we think and how we feel and how we show up. So if you want to protect yourself and protect your family and stay as healthy as possible, we've got to back it up and look at how we're thinking, okay? I want you guys to use this as an opportunity to learn healthier ways to get pleasure, okay? So like the pleasure you get from exercising or sex or cooking a healthy food for your family or drawing or painting or reading some juicy novel, right? Remember, you have programmed your brain to seek alcohol when you experience negative feelings like anxiety or even boredom or to feel relaxed. That's why you're over drinking in the first place. So right now, when everything seems uncertain, your brain is going to motivate you to drink if you let it. Okay? And if you drink from the feelings you're experiencing in this pandemic, you will only fuel your desire even more for alcohol and be in a much worse place when this is all over. You don't have to drink to make yourself feel better. And it doesn't work anyway, right? Yeah, it's the most convenient thing for false pleasure in that moment. Right? In the moment when it feels hard at the end of the day and your brain is just on fire and you feel exhausted, but it's really not helping you. It doesn't help you feel good the next day when you wake up and groggy and regretful and still having the same feelings you did the day before, but now they're compounded with the regret and the shame of over drinking or overeating, right? Most of our lives have just gotten simpler. Less appointments, less travel, less shuffling kids to and from things, right? This is your time to do the work I suggest. Uncover your thoughts. See them on paper. Decide if they are helping you or hurting you with love and compassion, not judgment. Feel your feelings instead of running for them. Get coaching. Let somebody outside of your own brain help you identify which thoughts are keeping you stuck and in spin out mode. It is my mission right now to help as many people as possible thrive during this pandemic and come out stronger than ever before. Now is your time to show up like the real badass you know you are and figure this out and stop letting circumstances in your life slow you down and block you from the growth you know that you are capable of achieving. So in recap of this podcast, journal your thoughts every day. Identify which thoughts are causing you to suffer unnecessarily. Remember, your thoughts create your feelings, not COVID-19. Okay, not kids' schools being canceled, right? Not trips that have been canceled, not events that have been canceled. Okay? Your thoughts about all those things are what create your feelings and to cause your unnecessary suffering. Create a goal, a 30-day goal for yourself to stop over drinking or to exercise every day or a daily push-up challenge or a handwritten letter challenge or a declutter your space in your house, something like that. Get coaching from a professional, someone who is good at helping you identify thoughts that don't serve you and can help you make fast progress towards your goals right now. We have the time to do that. There's never been a better time to learn how to manage your brain to create the results that you want to have in your life. And if you want to take this opportunity to permanently stop over drinking, I've got you. My group right now, we are on fire with the coaching. We're helping and showing up and thinking about things differently and drinking less. So if you want to talk to me about joining that group, request a 30-minute call by clicking the link in the show notes. Stay strong, my lovelies. I love you so much. Reach out to me if you need anything. Commit to showing up for yourself during these times instead of numbing out. I know you can do it because you're a bunch of badasses. Talk to you soon. Bye.